Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in dark, I walk around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Got that sunshine on my Sunday best. Yeah.
Hey guys.
Hey.
So we're out walking with Jacob. Hi. Oh, it's such a beautiful day. Just thought we'll take a walk and kind of talk about what's been going on lately. It's been a lot. It's been a lot of emotions, a lot of opinions, a lot of thoughts. I think as a church, we're trying to definitely address these issues and be praying and seeking unity during this time. And so I guess we just had a couple of thoughts as far as these conversations, because we do know that they can be very, I don't know, charged, right? Great, thanks, babe. Yeah. Charged conversations, but we do want to, and I think that's okay, but I think we do want to seek to reconcile and be unified and understand each other and listen. So I think for me, I've been feeling a range of emotions, right? I think for Black people in general, we feel numb to a lot of this stuff, a lot of apathy, maybe some apathy, and then like are super like in deep anguish and pain, right? And I feel like I've gone from both ends of the spectrum. You know, I started off this journey, and Patrick can tell you, like, I didn't even want to watch the George Floyd video because I just didn't want to feel that pain and really go there. And so, but then God forced my hand, and I watched it, and I'm glad I did. And I'm glad I watched the memorial service too, because it was almost like I went through kind of like a healing for myself. But I think, okay, so I think with all that, I think Black people are in a range of emotions. I think white people are feeling a range of emotions. But I think for me, and I think as a church, it's important that I respect your process and what you're going through and how you're processing this, and not getting upset or mad at the fact that you're not where I'm at in all of this, right? I feel like it's almost like with grief. It's like I'm at a point, like you can't judge my grief, you know? And I think we can't judge other people's process as well, because it will just shut people down, or you feel like everyone needs to be like you, but they're not, and everyone's different. Everyone has different life experiences as well. So I think I'm just grateful that God was patient with me as I was going through this. I'm really grateful that people were patient with me as I was going through this, when I was kind of like wanting to just be numb, and, you know, them being like, okay, well, that's okay. I'm not going to force you. And then God just allowed me to go there. And then when I feel the pain and the anguish and the sadness, people being there for me as well. So I think I kind of wanted to address that as we talk about these things, because, yeah, I think we can easily judge other people and their experiences when it's totally different than our experience.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you think about that, babe.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of things. I mean, I think that was awesome. And yeah, I think it's really important, like Lamisha said, to, you know, be patient with people through their process. I know being white, you know, I remember my freshman year of college, like I felt it, you know, I felt that racism was real. I think that feeling became real to me, like of understanding that this is a reality. For many Black people, for all Black people, really. I started in high school, because I remember, you know, elementary school, middle school, you're kind of like all cool and stuff, you know, Black friends, white friends, Latino friends. I remember I got to high school and like people started getting a little bit more, putting up a few more boundaries. Yeah, okay. Like I would have to like clarify who I'm bringing into parties and stuff like that. And,
wow.
And you know, if something got stolen from a party, I would get called. And, hey, Pat, did any of your friends, you know, steal something?
Wow.
And
what did you think about that?
I thought it was horrible. I thought like at the time, I just thought it was fake. Like I just thought it was phony. And I knew that there's obviously a heavy race component.
Yeah.
But I had a hard time. I didn't really know the history that well. I didn't really understand like the bigger like kind of concepts and the nuances of racism. And then my freshman year of college, I really started getting into it more, but it's taken a lot. I had this amazing teacher. Her name was Dr. Israel. I took this class. But I mean, that's just one of many things that helped me. Like I went to Kentucky, I saw the Underground Railroad. And,
Wow.
And
really
yeah,
cool.
like there's been really experiences. It's like somebody like that wants to know more about God or the Bible, and then they go to Jerusalem and they see like, yo, this is actually like real. And so, but it took a lot. It took a lot of experiences, a lot of good conversations for me to begin to see what so many of my friends were trying to tell me, you know,
Right.
for so long.
Probably took years.
Yeah, it took years. I mean, it took years of it. And it starts with the
guess-
things you see with your eyes, but then you start to really like be able to put words to it, you
Right,
know?
right.
So, and I believe like we've all seen it, you know, we've all,
Yeah.
if we really think about it, you know, if you really sit there and think about it, like, is there really something funky going on right now? You know, like, has there been in your life, you know, like, it's just, you know racism is real if you really like take a sober moment and you just don't no defensiveness. Like if
Yeah.
you're just like a scientist about it, you know, and just it's not personal.
Right.
And you know, even
Right.
for my son, I'm like, you know, based on I have to think like I've thought about it. Like, okay, he's lighter, right? Like, oh, so maybe his life is going to be easier, you know, because
wow.
he's a lighter complexion, you know. And that's just something's wrong.
odd. That's
You-
real.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
you know something's wrong
Yep.
with that. And I think rather than kind of feeling guilty about all that stuff, and you know, because it is what it is. Like you're born in the race that you're born as, and I didn't have a say in, you know, being white, and Lamisha didn't have a say in
Right.
being black. It's just, you know, so the guilt, it hurts the conversation. You know, like I get it. I get why it's there, and it could be feels personal, but
Right.
I think just look at it as like, dang, like we can all be mad about this thing together.
Yeah.
We can all be like, yo, I want to see this change too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And kind of put it aside, you know, and get your security from God that you're valuable, white and black, and you can have this conversation without feeling like guilty or insecure
Right.
about who you are and how God made you.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah. I think that happens so easily, right? Where you like look within yourself and you start to feel, I don't know, like, all right, I don't know. It's like a self-evaluation kind of thing. You know, you start to look within yourself and your experiences, but everyone else has their other experiences. And so I think, I just think,
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, I mean, walking through this neighborhood right now, obviously, like, it's a nice neighborhood, you know, and there's a lot of people that
Keep
look
it real,
like me
keep
here,
it real. Yeah.
you know, and so
Yeah.
with that, like I understand why it's hard sometimes to see, but I just think it's just trying to see
Right. Right.
that people will really appreciate. You know, and I must say that it took the patience and help, and I've said this before,
Right.
of people really work with me. And shout
Yeah.
out Guilford College
Right.
freshman year, you know?
Yeah, and I think if that hasn't been your experience and you haven't had those kind of, I guess, educational moments, that's okay. You'll get it.
if you're willing to. I mean,
But I guess, right, if you're willing to.
you
and I
might not
think-
get it if you're not willing to. And
Right.
that's my prayer, is that we're willing to. That we're
Well,
willing
especially
to.
as a church, I think
Yeah.
we need to be willing to kind of go there and
Yeah.
and
Talk about hard
hear
things.
and listen. And I think that's why, too, as far as our like church, we're talking about like really listening,
Right.
you know, and not really always feeling like you need to answer, but just listening to
Yeah.
someone's experience, I think is huge.
Yeah, and
you
if
know?
you're a fixer like me, the temptation is going to be to, like, when someone's telling you about their pain, like, you want to fix
right,
it.
but I think you've done a great job in just
Yeah.
listening to me, you know, and just like not judging how I'm feeling and just like being silent, which is new for you. You know,
Hey.
but I appreciate that,
Yeah.
and it, you know, I'm really grateful to have you. So,
Yeah. Well, amen. That's
Anyway.
definitely all God,
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Helping me out. But look, I've already made mistakes,
Right.
and I'm gonna continue to do so. And I'm just grateful for people that see me beyond my mistakes. You know, I remember those moments when I know I've made a mistake. I've said something dumb, and somebody saw me like saw my heart through that.
Right,
You know?
right. Didn't just judge you and be like, oh,
Yeah.
he's XYZ and label you, but
Yeah.
like, he doesn't know. So let me just
Right.
talk to him a little bit. And I think we then have to be willing to do that.
Right.
I know that's hard for us. It's hard for me. Because we just haven't done it for so long.
Yeah.
Some of us have, but I know for me, like, I just haven't done it. I haven't gone out of my way to educate and help
Right.
other people understand how I feel. And I gotta honestly think about why that is. I'm not sure. I just think I'm out of practice. This has never been a discussion. And so this is just so new for me to
Yep.
explain these things.
But we're looking
anyway,
forward
guys,
to the
yeah.
discussion.
Yep.
And we know there's going to be a lot of healing, and we know
Mm-hmm.
it might be tough and it could be hard before it gets better.
Yeah.
But we're going to hang in there together, and we're going to
This is
get
the
through this
beginning.
together.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm
Yep.
looking forward to it.
All right. Love you guys.
Love you guys. Peace.